Back to episode 16. Jungkook was in deep thought as he ran his hand through his handsome hair while he slept peacefully. He couldn't believe Lim had suggested such to Taehyung. The anger and disgust he felt right now was driving him crazy. Taehyung was his. No one had right to say such things and make his Tete worry. No matter how powerful Lim was, Jungkook knew he could handle him just fine. Jungkook was in deep thought as he ran his hand through his husband's hair while he slept peacefully. He couldn't believe Lim had suggested such thing to Taehyung. That anger and disgust he felt right now was driving him crazy. Yes, Jian Lim called us. That startled Jungkook JKY. Jian, he agreed to back us for the project. JK, out of blue, why? He asked suspiciously. Jian, he is interested in Taehyung. JK, the Jian, at least your husband is good for something. It's a fair deal. Just make sure it's all discreet. JK, what the heck are you talking about? Jian, let them entertain him for a while. I'm sure he will get bored soon. JK, do you realize what you are saying? Jian, yes, I do. It's not like you both had love marriage. It was a business deal. Even then, don't make it a big out of it. Jungkook yelled, JK, I will freaking kill him before I let anyone touch him. Jian, Jungkook, stop being emotional. Do you have any idea how emotionally important this project is? Don't ruin it over a guy like him, JK. It's just a business deal. We will manage without Lim. Jian, it's not that easy. He could put a stop on it if things go very. JK, do you think Taehyung's family would sit still? Jungkook tried to convince him. Jian, Jungkook, Taehyung's family hardly give a damn about him, and it's obvious to everyone they aren't leading in business wood anymore. JK, but Jian, stop making excuses and just do what's necessary. Convince Taehyung at all cost. JK, Jian, if you say no, I will have to ask someone else to deal with it. JK, what do you mean by that? Jian, I could threaten his family. There are rumors for which don't make it harder than it needed to be. JK, I will handle it. Jungkook cut the call and threw the phone, making it break. Taehyung woke up because of the loud noise and came out of the room to see Jungkook passing in the living room, looking angry as heck. Hey, Jungkook, is everything okay? Jungkook looked at him and instantly strode towards him, looking all intimidating, and hugged him tightly. Taehyung was confused at Jungkook's accent. Hey, did something happen? JK, no. It's all okay. I will make sure it's all okay, Jungkook said, assuring him. Next few days were quite busy for Jungkook since he was preparing for his bon's birthday. He wanted it to be special because he knew Taehyung's parents never celebrate his birthday, and which saddened Jungkook a lot. He was going to make sure it was the best birthday anyone could have. His parents hadn't mentioned about Lim again, and neither had Lim contacted them. Maybe they had let it go of the idea someone in Lim's position would be crazy to go after a married man. He wouldn't want a scandal attached to his name. Taehyung had just finished his assignment when he got a call from Doyeon. It instantly brightened his mood. Hi, Tony. Taehyung greeted him cheerfully, though. Hi, Steam Bun. Doyeon said just as cheerful. I will beat you, though. So, how is everything? All good. I can't believe I can be this happy. No, you deserve it. How many times have I told you that you know, Trina got boyfriend doing sing the what? Oh my god. Really? I knew she wouldn't still sit still after even after breakup. I know she was so heartbroken. But just few days ago and already has a new guy. Both of them who got busy gossiping like always. They met few people though Doyon, though he has been reluctant to meet new people, but Jungkook and Doyon both had urged him to socialize. Then had set sweet set of friends and they had warmed up to Taehyung instantly, even though Taehyung never met them outside and comfort. Felt good to meet new people and talk to them about trivial, trivial things. How he now understand why people were so desperate for friends. The Taehyung came to my house. We have a lot to talk about, and I have got new set skincare. Doyon said, Taehyung, okay, let me message Jungkook. After telling Jungkook no, Taehyung asked the driver to drop him to Doyon's house. Jungkook smiled, knowing his plan was working. He needed Taehyung out of the house so he could decorate it for his birthday. He called the man he had hired for the work. He knew what his Tete loved and hadn't thought twice before filling the house with preciously that he had told Doyen to bring Taehyung right at time. Taehyung was confused when Doyen said he would like to accompany him to his house. They just had spent hours together. When he entered the house, he felt like he was dreaming. Everything looked so beautiful and he couldn't take his eyes off. They suddenly realized it was his birthday. No one had ever celebrated his birthday before, so he never bothered to remember it, but now it looks like he wouldn't ever forget. Jungkook had spent so much time and money to make it just right for him. Taehyung couldn't stop the tears from falling. He had only read about happiness that made you cry, but right now he could feel it. He was so happy that he couldn't stop crying. Jungkook hugged him right tight like he would never let him go. It's all looks so pretty, Taehyung sobbed. JK, wait until you see our room. Jungkook glanced. Taehyung walked into their room and screamed in delight. Oh my god, Jungkook, this is all must have cost so much. Taehyung exclaimed. JK, anything for you, Bon. But JK, no buts. Today you deserve more than all of this. Just enjoy instead of worrying. Though, let's cut the cake, Doyen said. Hey, whoa, how could you make everything so beautiful? Taehyung said. JK, how could I not when you are so beautiful? Doyen canged. Duh, stop being cheesy. JK, I will strangle you. Jungkook threatened. Taehyung giggled as they back and forth. After cutting the cake, Taehyung sat down to open his gifts. There were too many. Doyeon and Jungkook hadn't spread anything when they got him gifts. You both went overboard, Taehyung exclaimed. JK, it's nothing. We were going to buy more. No, it's enough. I hardly would get to use all this. Good look at him lovingly. Taehyung, do you really think I care what color walls or bed sheets are, or if there are pulses and stuffed toys? You are there with me, right by my side. I don't have time to look at all the wall and closet. Taehyung, Tae, why are you so adorable? Taehyung pouted Taehyung, and Jungkook laughed at the pouty baby. They had fun talking and laughing for hours. Taehyung had never felt such joy before that being with the right people could feel this good. Even if you are just sitting and talking, it could feel far better than being on beach or a resort. It's round though, and you pointage Dayan asked. It's adorable, that's how round things are. They asserted, though like you. Yes, though you are just fat. I'm not, I'm round. Though that's what being fat means. You just being jealous that you have exquisite cheeks and you don't. That I have exquisite cheeks and you don't. Taehyung rejoined Taehyung scoffed, though like that is something to be jealous of. At least I don't look like a cloth hanger. Taehyung retorted, Taehyung eyes narrowed threateningly. Though you didn't just say that, I very well did. Though I'm going to beat you. You better not if you don't want me to tell your crush that you talk to his pictures. Threatened in a sickly sweet tone, though you wouldn't dare. Oh, trust me, I will. I have been talking to G1 a lot these days. We have talked about you, though. What did you tell him? Nothing much. I have mentioned you are a playboy. I'm kidding. I didn't say anything bad about you. He may be tiny bit interested in you. Doyon looked at him eagerly. Though really? Yeah. They were interesting. Interrupted by the pinning, pinging of oven. Doyon got up and went to the kitchen to get their food. Taehyung phone rang, flashing an unknown number on the screen. He picked it up. Hello. Unknown. Taehyung. Yes, who is this? Jihan. I am Jungkook's father. Come to house immediately. Why? What happened? Jihan, don't talk back. Just come as fast as you can. Don't tell Jungkook about this. Taehyung contemplated calling Jungkook but didn't want to disobey his in-laws. He made some excuse to Doyon and left immediately. He asked the driver to take him to Jungkook's parents' house. He was seated in the living room where Mr. and Mrs. Jian were present. Taehyung felt uneasy and scared right now. It didn't look like things were going to end in his favor. They were glaring at him. Taehyung, I have heard you have been really disrespectful towards Lim. Not really. Jian, I didn't ask you for an explanation. Is this how you have been raised? Don't you know how to respect people? Mr. Jian said. He said bad things to me. Jian, bad things? He was just being considerate. Taehyung up nervously. He said that he wants me to be close to him. Jian, we know. Lim already talked to us. Why did you refuse him? Taehyung's eyes widened in disbelief. What do you mean? How could I agree to something like that? Jian, why not? I am married to your son. Did you forget that? He exclaimed. Mrs. Jian, we do remember. We weren't asking you to marry someone else. You just need to provide company to Mr. Lee, Mrs. Jian said. As a matter of fact, but Jian, don't argue. Jungkook has already agreed to this. What? You're lying. Jungkook would never agree to such thing. He promised me. Jian promised, grow up kid. Lots of money is hanging on this. What is little promise in front of millions? I don't care who agreed to this, but evident I refuse. Jian, do you think you have a choice? Taehyung squeezed in his shoulder in defense. Yes, I do. My parents, Jian, your parents already know about this. They wouldn't let this happen. Jian, really? Why don't you call them and ask Taehyung? Fished out his phone and dialed his mother's number. He was very aware of his parents' disinterested in him, but still no parents, no matter how cruel, would agree to something like this. They may not love him like other parents, but they didn't hate him to this extent either. Mrs. Jan, hello, Taehyung. Mom, do you know about Lim? Mrs. Jan, yes. Mr. Jan called me yesterday. You didn't agree to it, right? I mean, you guys wouldn't. It's just Mrs. Kim. We agreed to it. Taehyung felt something grip his heart in a school. Why? Mrs. Kim, what do you mean why? This is going to help the company. That's all the matter to you. Company, profit, money. Mrs. Kim, Taehyung, don't talk like that. I don't mean that. You are important too, but you should do this for everyone's sake. They yelled back. Why should I? No one care about me. So why the heck should I do everything for you people? Mrs. Kim, stop being a part. We raised you for years there because you gave birth to me, so it's freaking your job to raise me. Kim, Taehyung, how utterly disrespectful you have become. It's already decided, so don't ruin things now. What that said, his mother cut the call. Taehyung felt like he couldn't breathe anymore. He felt trapped and weak. The way these people were decision about his life, tears fell down his cheeks. Even though he tried really hard to keep it together, he could feel himself slipping. Fear and stress was messing up in his head right now. He wanted to get out of here, away from these people who didn't even consider him as a person. Soon he was sobbing hypothetically while Mr. and Mrs. John looked at him in surprise. They Jungkook, he was bubbling in his at this point. Mrs. Jan, what the heck are you crying? Mrs. Jan asked. They need Jungkook. They need cookie. Mr. and Mrs. Jan looked at each other in shock and confusion. Jan, what's wrong with him? Mrs. Jan, Taehyung, stop crying. You aren't a kid. Not Taehyung. Jian, is he crazy or something? Why is he whipping about? Mr. Jian said. That just made Taehyung cry harder. He wanted to go home and cuddle with Jungkook. The hostility around him was enough to make him shut his eyes tightly and wrap him around arms around his knees. Right at that time, Jungkook came, almost running. Jian, what are you doing here, Jungkook? His father asked. I came here to get my husband. Don't ever call him behind my back. Jian, Jungkook, JK, I don't care enough to listen to anyone you have got to say. We will talk later. Jungkook gathered Taehyung in his arm and left without another word. He got them inside the car and asked the driver to take them home. Taehyung had curled up beside Jungkook, almost sitting on his lap. He had stopped crying, was now sniffing softly as Jungkook rubbed his back and kept preparing small kisses on his head and face. Fortunately, he had asked Taehyung's driver to let him know wherever his tete went, he wasn't being controlled or anything. It just worried him when Taehyung went out without him. His bun was too heavy for this world. As soon as Jungkook had received the message that Taehyung was at his parents' house, he felt settle in. He could guess why they had called him there, for Jungkook dropped there as quickly as he could, and when he saw crying Taehyung like that, it made him wanna punch someone. He could imagine what they must have said to his husband to make him cry like that. He should have dealt with this already instead of letting Taehyung get hurt. Jungkook was going to handle this issue in his way. Taehyung get hurt. Jungkook was going to handle this issue in his way, and no one would going to hurt his baby again. To be continued. So everyone, what do you think about Liam, and what do you think about Taekook relationship now? I hope you will enjoy it. See you again in the next episode. Till then, take care. Bye bye.